Good morning. If you can hear me okay, if you could chat in the little box and let me know that the audio is okay. I'm gonna go grab a charger really quickly. Give everybody a minute or so to join in with us. Good morning. I'm gonna wait about 30 seconds or so-ish more before we get started. Hopefully, if you're hopping on, you can hear me. All right, we got some people joining us. Hopefully you can hear me okay. I'll try and check in with the chat. If anybody has trouble hearing me at any point, you can always just quick do a little chat and let me know that the audio isn't very good, and I'll try and speak a little bit louder. But I just have a mat today. I don't have any straps or blocks, but if you have books or water bottles or anything that you want to use as a block, you can do that as well. Otherwise, we are going to go ahead and get started. We'll start in child's pose at the back of your mat. Throughout class today, I'll give different options for different postures. But if there's something that doesn't work well for you, work in your practice, you can always take any other option as well. So child's pose, knees out wide, big toes come together to touch. Extend your arms forward, let your head rest down on the ground. You always have the option to bring your knees together underneath your belly as well. And always an option to bring your hands down by your legs. So whichever option feels better for you, find it, stay there. And we'll be here for a few rounds of breath to start to settle in. Maybe you've had a long week, a stressful week, maybe your body's tired from workouts that you did this week. Whatever your reason is for being here today, find that, focus in on it, and start to deepen through your breath. Big breaths in through your nose, exhales out of your mouth. Breathe in through your nose, fill up. Exhale, let it go. Take a few more rounds just like this. You're still in child's pose. And notice how as your focus begins to shift to your breath and your breath begins to deepen, get a little bit fuller and bigger, your thoughts begin to fade away. And you're able to draw your attention inward to how you're feeling today, what you need from this practice mentally and physically. We'll be here for one more big breath in. And exhale, let it go. Press up onto tabletop, all fours, shoulders over your wrists, hips over your knees. You can keep your feet flat or tuck your toes under. On your inhale, cow pose, drop your belly, open up across your chest. Pull your shoulder blades together down your back. Big breath in. Exhale, cat round through your back, just like a Halloween cat as you press the ground away from you. Feel your shoulder blades pull apart and your tailbone tuck down to the ground. Inhale, cow pose, belly drops, chest opens. Exhale, cat round up, press the mat away from you. Start to move back and forth between the postures, inhaling as you open up, exhaling as you round in. If it feels comfortable for you, your eyes can remain closed here. Allow yourself to focus on the movement and how it feels in your body. Closing our eyes removes those external distractions that sometimes we use to not connect with our breath and body. So give yourself permission here to disconnect from all of that and really feel the movement, feel the stretch. Couple more rounds of breath here. If any movement, front to back, side to side feels good. You can stretch any way that feels good through your spine, your core, your low back. And on your next breath, make your way back to a neutral spine. Walk your hands a few inches forward on your mat. Tuck your toes, find downward facing dog. Stay here and breathe for a few rounds of breath. Find a pedal out through your feet, bend your right knee, your left knee. Good. Stay here and breathe for a few breaths. Awesome. Spread your fingers wide on your mat, pressing down through your knuckles, the L shape of your hand. Keep a soft micro bend in your elbows. Let your head hang heavy in between your arms. Stay here for a breath out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, ragdoll. Walk your feet up to your hands and then take them out wide. Keep a big bend in your knees and let your head hang heavy down towards the ground. Your hands can stay right where they are. A couple different options. You can bring hand to opposite elbow. You can interlace behind your neck. You can also interlace at your low back to stretch through your shoulders as well. So you can kind of play around with the options here. Find which one feels good for you. You can take as big of a bend in your knees as you need to here. The more bend you find, the more release you'll feel through your low back and your hamstrings. Stay here for one more breath in. On your exhale, place your left hand at the center of your mat. Inhale, ragdoll with a twist. Bend through your left knee, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling. Straighten slightly through your right leg so you feel the stretch through your right hamstring. Take a big breath in. Exhale, right hand down. Inhale, ragdoll with a twist. Other side, bend through your right knee, straighten through your left leg. Left arm reaches high. Again, you should feel this stretch through the back of your left leg. Take a breath in. Exhale, release forward, fold, step your feet together on your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, pause, press your hands into something flat. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pull your belly button up and in. Top of your head reaches forward to create a long, flat back. Breathe in. Exhale, forward, fold, release down. Inhale, mountain pose. Breathe, root down through your heels as you rise up to standing. Turn your pinky fingers in towards one another. Relax your shoulders down away from your ears. Pull your low ribs in towards one another. Keep a soft bend in your knees. Take a breath in. Exhale, baby back bend. Drop your elbows to 90 degrees as you open through your upper back. Notice I'm just opening slightly across my upper back. This isn't a crunch into your low back. It's just a slight opening across your upper body. So you shouldn't feel any pain through your spine or shortness of breath. Inhale back to mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold, release down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Plant your hands, step your feet back. Stay here and breathe for a few breaths. First high plank of class. Stack your shoulders right over your wrists. Press up in the space between your shoulder blades. Pull your belly button in towards your spine, push through your heels. You'll start to feel a little fire, a little heat through your upper body, your core. That's good, that's what we want. On your inhale, shift forward onto the balls of your feet. Exhale, slowly lower down to the ground. Hug your elbows into your side. Set up for a low cobra. Press the tops of your feet down into the mat so much that your kneecaps lift. On your inhale, low cobra. Stay here and breathe. Little to no weight through your fingertips. Slide your elbows together down your sides. Keep pressing down through the tops of your feet. Imagine the top of your head is being pulled forward. Your heels are being pulled back, creating lots of length through your spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, release forehead to mat. Inhale, press up, tabletop or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. That's your Sun A flow. We'll flow through that 2 more times. This time, 1 breath to 1 movement. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Shift forward on your breath in. Exhale, slowly lower to the ground with control. Inhale, low cobra, just 1 breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up, tabletop or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job. 1 more time through. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, top of your space. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, baby back bend. Inhale, mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, slowly lower down. Inhale, low cobra, 1 breath. Exhale, release. Inhale, press up, tabletop or high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And exhale, side out. Drop down to your knees. If at any point throughout class my breath is a little too fast for yours, or you want to move a little bit slower today, know that I'm just here to guide you through your practice, and I want you to take this at your own pace, your own breath. Before we hop into our Sun B flow, I want to demo chaturanga for you, which is just a fancy word for mid-plank. So there are a couple different options. When you hear me cue chaturanga, I'm going to demo it from reverse warrior. So we'll be in reverse warrior. You'll hear me say inhale, exhale, chaturanga. Option 1 is to take the full expression. Full expression doesn't always mean best expression. So you'll shift forward, lower halfway down, elbows hug into your side. Inhale, upward facing dog. Only thing touching the ground are your hands and the tops of your feet. Big breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that's option 1, is to take it from your toes, lowering halfway down to upward facing dog. Second option, you'll hear me say exhale, chaturanga. Drop down to your knees. Take mid plank from halfway down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, and your last option is to just ignore me completely. And it's going to be high plank to downward facing dog. So you'll hear me say exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. You still stay here. Exhale, downward facing dog. So that option is really awesome for building strength in your shoulders, your chest, your core. So you're still getting a lot of benefit even if you don't take the full chaturanga. All right? So those are options for you to take or to not take during class. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. I know, it does seem a little complicated, Josh. It's not as bad as you think. All right, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. One more just like that. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, forward fold, top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose, breathe. Pause here. Sink your weight back into your heels. You should be able to peek down and see your toes and give them a little wiggle around on your mat. Your feet can be together, or if it feels better in your low back, your feet can be hip width distance apart as well. Hug your low belly up and in to create a flat back. Arms can stay together at heart center, or you can extend them up overhead as well. Sink a little bit lower, take a breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga, first one of class. Know all your options. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, low lunge. Pause here. Step your foot right up in between your hands. If you need to physically pick it up and help it get there, I know you can do that. Your knee is right over your ankle. Drop your left knee down. Inhale, crescent moon. Stay here and breathe. Good. Bring your hands to your hips. I want you to think about tucking your pelvis under. All right, so you can find when your hips are relaxed, you can feel your pelvis tilting back. I want you to try and tilt it like you're trying to tuck your tailbone down to the ground. And as you tuck, you should start to feel a stretch through the front of your left hip thigh, maybe into your hip flexor. You can stay right here, or you can lift your left arm straight up overhead if you want a little bit more intensity. Breathe into the stretch. Big breaths in and out. If you sit a lot during the day, hip flexors can get really tight, so this is an awesome stretch to open up through those muscles. Stay here for one more breath in. On your exhale, half split. Shift your hips back as you straighten slightly through your right leg. We're not trying to completely straighten through your right leg, so there should still be a little micro bend in your knee. That can be as big of a bend as you want, really, as long as you feel a stretch through your hamstring and maybe calf. You can also flex your toes back towards your face or point them down towards the ground. If you point them down towards the ground, sometimes you'll start to feel a little stretch through the front of your shin and ankle as well. Breathe into the stretch. One more big breath in here. On your exhale, back to low lunge, left knee lifts. Inhale, crescent lunge, breathe. Lift straight up, shoulders stack over your hips. 90-degree bend through your right knee. Arms can stay up overhead. You can bring them to heart center. That feels more stable for you. For just a quick second, bring your hands to your hips. Left hip is in line with your right hip. Sometimes it wants to pull back. Keep your hips squared forward, inner thighs squeezing in towards one another. Take a breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Pause here. Front knee stays locked in place, so it's still stacked right over your right ankle. Left toes point towards the side of your mat. Shoulders are right over your hips. Stay here for a breath out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Pause here. Notice my front lunge is still locked in place. You might start to feel a little burn, a little activation through your right thigh. Good. Now, a lot of times here in reverse warrior, people just want to dump backwards. I want you to think about lifting up out of your hips and then reaching just slightly back. Stay here for one more breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Hands to your mat. Remember your options. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg, please. Exhale, low lunge. Pause here. However you need to get there, bring your left knee right up underneath your chest so your joints are stacked on top of each other. Drop your right knee down. Inhale, crescent moon. Breathe here for a few breaths. Again, bring your hands to your hips. Tuck your tailbone under like it's trying to point down towards the ground. And you should start to feel that stretch and opening through the front of your right hip and thigh. Good. One side might feel a little bit tighter than the other, a little bit looser. That's normal. Option two, reach your right arm straight up towards the ceiling. You're looking for a little more intensity. Keep lifting up and out of your hips, continually thinking about pointing your tailbone down towards the ground. Breathe into it. Imagine your muscles opening up, relaxing into the stretch with every breath that we're here. One more inhale. Exhale, half split. Bring your hands down to the ground as you press your hips back and straighten through your left leg. Remember, we're still keeping a bend in your left knee so your joint isn't totally locked out. Toes can flex back towards your face, point forward, maybe a little combination of the two. You should feel a stretch through your hamstring and your calf. But if you feel any pain behind your knee, you've gone a little bit too far. I don't want you to feel any pain in your joints, just in the fleshy parts of your leg. Couple more rounds of breath here. This one is always really, really a good stretch for me, kind of tight feeling, no matter how much I do it, it seems. Stay here for one more big breath in. Exhale back to low lunge. Lift your right knee off the mat. Inhale, crescent lunge. Stay here and breathe for a few rounds of breath. 90-degree bend through your front knee, so your knee's right over your ankle. Bring your hands to your hips just for a moment to ensure that your right hip is in line with your left hip. Lift up onto the ball of your back foot. Take a big breath in. Exhale, warrior two. Pause here. Front knee is still locked in place. You can keep your palms down to the ground. I like to flip them up. I find that helps relax my shoulders a little bit. Press down through the outside edge of your right foot. Shoulders over your hips. Breathe out. Inhale, reverse warrior. Pause here. Front lunge is still locked in place, even though it's starting to burn a little bit. Remember to lift straight up out of your hips and then slightly back, opening up through your left side body. Take a big breath in. Exhale, chaturanga. Now at any point you can skip if you need to. Upward facing dog on your inhale. Downward facing dog on your exhale. Stay here for a few breaths. That's your sunbeam flow. We'll flow through that 2 more times each side. 1 breath, 1 movement, but we will omit the crescent moon and half split. Take a big breath in. And exhale, let it go. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sink lower, just here for 1 breath. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. I'm going to skip this time. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, low lunge. Step right up in between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse warrior. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, low lunge. Keep breathing. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. 1 more time each side. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. 1 breath, get low. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg, please. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge, lift straight up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Take a big breath in. And exhale, sigh it out. Drop down to your knees. If you need to grab a sip of water, you can grab a sip of water. We're going to move into some core work. Yay, everyone's favorite. I did title this Power Yoga, so you had to expect a little bit of work, right? All right, come all the way down to your back. We'll set up for yogi bicycles to start off with. Reverse tabletop your legs so knees are right over your hips. It's going to be tempting when we start moving to pull your knees in closer to your chest. Don't do it. I want you to lock them in right here. And then I want you to tilt your pelvis back towards you like you're trying to pull your belly button in towards your spine. Keep this press of your low back the whole time. Interlace your fingers by your ears. Take a breath in. On your exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Keep moving here. Nice and slow and controlled. A lot of times for core work, we just want to move as fast as we can and get it over with. But I want you to really focus today on slowing down the movement and really engaging through your core. So every time you twist to the side, I want you to think about trying to lift both of your shoulder blades off of the mat as high as you can. Keep space in between your chin and your chest. Elbows stay spread wide. So think shoulder to knee rather than elbow to knee. Keep breathing. Knees are still right over your hips. Don't pull them in any closer to your chest. Keep pulling your belly button in towards your spine. Just a few more here. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice job. Send your legs straight up the wall. Flex your toes back towards your face for rope climbers. On your exhale, reach left hand towards your right foot. Come back to center. Exhale, right hand to left foot. Inhales as you pass through center. Exhales as you lift and reach. You're off on your own with your own breath. Same thing here. Quality over quantity. So as you lift and reach, how high can you lift and reach? Can you aim for a little bit higher every time you go side to side? Imagine I'm standing right above your feet with my hands up, ready for you to give me a little high five. Try and lift up nice and high. Exhaling as you reach. We got it, just a couple more here. Last 4, 3, 2, one more. Last one, nice job. Set up for bridge pose. Walk your heels in towards your glutes, and then shimmy your shoulder blades together down your back. Reach your fingers down towards your heels. Tuck your pelvis back towards you, belly button to spine. Lift your hips up, bridge pose. Stay here and breathe. Your hands can stay right where they are, or you can find a bind, interlacing your fingers together. Press down through your heels. Knees are right over your ankles. Good. Release the tension in your glutes just for a breath. Try and squeeze more through the backs of your legs, your hamstrings, your low back, and then re-engage through your glutes. Keep breathing. One more big breath in. And on your exhale, slowly release back down to the ground. Take your time to get there. Whew. And then pull your knees into your chest. Find a little rock, little roll side to side. And then rock and roll all the way up to your seat. If you want to grab another sip of water, now you can. But we're going to put all of that core work to good use. And we're going to try an arm balance posture this morning. So if you are new to arm balance postures, this might look a little intimidating. It's not as intimidating or scary as it looks, I promise. Rock and roll, yeah, up to the top of your mat. Okay, if you want to grab a pillow just for a little bit of like security kind of, you can grab a pillow for this. So we're gonna try crow pose today. This is an arm balance. So all that core work we just did, we're utilizing all of that to help lift you up in this balance. So remember that core engagement, that lift up through your belly is so, so important. I'm gonna try and show you from the side. So those chaturanga arms that we have been practicing, those are the kind of arms we're gonna have in the balance. Your hands are right underneath your shoulders. And then you're going to start to walk your feet up to your hands. So you're in kind of like a crouched down dog position. Bend through your elbows, and then you're just gonna start to shift forward, placing your knees on the backs of your arms. If that feels like totally enough for you, you can stay right there today. Otherwise, you're going to practice lifting one foot off of the mat, placing it down, and then the other foot off of the mat, placing it down. That pillow can go right there underneath your head if it feels a little wobbly, a little shaky for you. If you're feeling like, woo, I'm ready to go, ready to try some more, you'll shift forward, lift one foot off of the mat, then the other foot off of the mat, okay? So important here to hug up and lift up through your core. Otherwise, you're just dumping all of the weight into your hands. So we're really thinking about lifting, squeezing, pulling your elbows in. Another important tip is to take your gaze slightly forward. You look down, you will go down. All right, so kind of play around here with what option feels best for you. It might just be lifting one foot off of the mat and then the other. All right, so I'll give you about 30 seconds or so to kind of play around with crow pose. It'll feel a little funny if you've never done it before, but it's kind of a good introduction to arm balances that don't get you too far off of the ground. You guys will have to let me know how crow pose went for you. Send me some pictures of your crow pose. All right. Hopefully you were able to get both feet off of the ground, even if it was just for a second or two at home. Thanks for playing around with me. We're going to go back to your Sun B, but we're going to add in a little bit more movement and work this time, and then we're going to cool you down, all right? It's going to be super fun. So let's meet back in downward facing dog. Take a big breath in, and exhale, let it go. One more just like that, breathe in, and exhale, sigh it out. Inhale, look forward, exhale, travel to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane your arms, reach your fingertips back up over your hips. Hug up through your belly. Slide your shoulder blades together down your back. Sink a little bit lower, take a breath out. Inhale, single leg mountain. Lift your right leg, pause here. Flex your toes up towards your knee. Hands can stay up overhead. You can bring them to your hips. You can bring them to heart center. I want you to notice if all of your weight shifted back in your heel, try and equally distribute the weight in your foot and lift straight up towards the ceiling. Take a breath in. Exhale, standing figure four. Cross your right foot on top of your left ankle. You can stay right here, or you can start to sink your hips down just like you're sitting in a chair. Stay here and breathe. Yeah, Josh, crow pose can feel like a lot on your shoulders if you're not really hugging up through your core. So keep thinking about that while you're practicing it. Zip up through your core to take some pressure off of your shoulders. Good, keep breathing, flexing your toes back towards your knee. Stay here for one more breath out. Inhale back to single leg mountain. Exhale, dancer's pose. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see me. Bring your right knee in line with your left. Right arm reaches up and back to connect to the inside of your right foot. You can stay right here if this is enough for you, or you can start to extend
your left arm and right leg. Now, a lot of times people just want to like open up here and get really big. I want you to focus on keeping your hips square to the front. So this open up, this extension might not be very big, and that's okay. Think about pressing your hand into your foot and your foot back into your hand. Ooh, you can always keep hand at heart center as well. Stay here for one more breath out. Inhale back to single leg mountain. Exhale, release, forward fold. Nice work. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, low lunge. Step your foot up in between your hands. Inhale, crescent lunge. Another little change here. Exhale, vertical twist. Send your right arm back, your left arm forward. Always an option to drop down to your knee here if it feels a little too wobbly or shaky. Notice if you hinged forward through your upper body, pull your shoulders back, keep them right over your hips, and relax your shoulders down. Stay here for a breath out. Inhale, warrior two, spin open. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach your fingertips forward and then connect elbow to your knee. Reach your left arm up overhead. I want you to use your right elbow as leverage to press into your inner thigh to help open up across your chest and shoulders. Squeeze through your obliques to help take some pressure, some weight off of your right hand. Stay here for one more breath out. Inhale, star pose, open up, turn your toes forward. Exhale, horse. Heels in, toes out, about 45 degrees. This is like a sumo squat position. Bring your hands to the tops of your thighs and take a few shoulder dips, right to left. Press your hands into your inner thighs to help open up through your hips. Maybe a little stretch through your shoulder blades here as well. Bring your hands back to heart center. Stay here for a breath out. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, back to warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Little change here. Exhale, low lunge. Good. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, side plank. Bring your right hand to the center of your mat. Open up. Option to stay right here. Option to drop down to your bottom knee as well. Wherever you are at, I want you to check in and make sure that your shoulder is right over your elbow, over your wrist. Joints are stacked. Squeeze through your right oblique, wherever you're at for just a breath, and lift your top leg. Woo. One more inhale. Exhale, back to high plank. Stay here for a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Nice job. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top of your mat, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Exhale, airplane your arms. Inhale, single leg mountain. Lift your left leg. Pause here. Whew. This side is my wobbly side. Flex your toes back towards your knee. Pull your belly button in towards your spine. Take a breath in. Exhale, standing figure four. Pause here. Woo. Flex your toes back towards your knee. Option to stay right here, or you can start to sink your hips back like you're sitting in a chair. So we're kind of getting a little 2-for-1 here, right? We're working on our balance, but also getting a nice little stretch through the outside of your left hip. Find a spot to stare at that's not moving, which is not me. This side is feeling a little wobbly for me today. Squeeze through your core, pull your belly button in, relax your shoulders. Don't forget to breathe. Take a breath out. Inhale back to single leg mountain. Exhale, dancer pose. I'll show you again from the side. If you need to shake out that right leg, go ahead and shake it out. Left knee comes in line with your right. Reach your left arm up and around to connect to the inside of your left foot. You can stay right here, or you can start to extend and lengthen. Again, left hip stays dialed down in line with your right. Keep a soft micro bend through your right knee. Don't forget to breathe. Shoulders stay relaxed down. We got this. Stay here for one more breath out. Inhale back to single leg mountain. And exhale, release, forward fold. Nice job. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your left leg. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, crescent lunge. Exhale, vertical twist. Left arm back, right arm forward. Same thing on this side. If you drop to your knee on the other side, you can drop to your knee again here. Notice again if you shifted forward, pull your shoulders back, keep them stacked right over your hips. Relax your shoulders down. Think about lifting up through the crown of your head. Stay here for a breath out. Inhale, warrior two. I'm gonna open up to face you. Exhale, extended side angle. Reach forward, find lots of length, then connect elbow to your inner thigh. Right arm reaches up overhead. Same thing, so we're using our elbow to press in, help us rotate and open up to the side. Think about squeezing through your obliques. Left side of your core, right side of your core to take some weight out of your bottom hand. I always feel a nice little side stretch through my top side as well. Stay here for one more breath out. Inhale, star pose. Exhale, prasarita, wide-legged forward fold. Hinge forward from your hips. Bring your hands all the way down to the ground. Keep a little bend in your knees and let your torso relax, letting everything fall down towards the floor. Walk your hands towards your left foot. My watch just vibrated at me and told me to move. Okay. Walk your hands over towards your right leg or foot. Walk your hands back to center. On your inhale, slowly rise back up, star pose. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse, little change. Exhale, low lunge. Bring your hands down to your mat. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, side plank. Bring your left hand to the center of your mat. Open up to the left, to the right, whatever direction you're facing. Again, option to drop your bottom knee down here. Check in and make sure that your joints are stacked on top of each other. Squeeze through your obliques, lift up through your hips. Wherever you're at for just a breath or two, lift your top leg. Woo, flex through your toes, squeeze through your core. Big breath in. Oh my goodness. Exhale, high plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, drop down to your knees. Swing your legs out in front of you. We'll take a seated figure four. Left foot down, right foot crosses up and over. You can also take this down on your back as well, if that feels better for you. All the hard work's over. You made it to the best part, the stretching. I always love a power flow like that. So you get a little bit of work, a little bit of strength, maybe a little bit of sweat, but you also get that great benefit of the stretching at the end as well. Go ahead and switch legs. Left foot crosses on top of your right knee. Again, you can take this from a seated position or up on or down on your back. Keep breathing. Feel a nice stretch through the outside of your left hip and thigh. One more breath in here. And exhale, release. If you're not there still, rock back up to your seat. Send your left leg out. Right foot comes in. Sit up nice and tall. Big breath in. Exhale, twist towards your left leg. Fold forward. Doesn't matter if your hands touch your foot. A lot of times people want to just try and force themselves as far forward as they can. Don't worry about how far you go. Just let yourself fold forward and then relax wherever you land. You should feel a nice stretch through the back of your left leg, but also through the right side of your lower back as well. Think about creating length through your spine as you breathe in and relaxing into it as you breathe out. One more breath out. Slowly come back up to the top. We'll switch sides. Right foot comes out, left foot comes in. Breathe in. Exhale, twist towards your right leg. Fold forward. Let your hands relax wherever they land. Creating length with your inhales. Relaxing forward with your exhales. Couple more breaths here. And on your next breath, come back up to the top. Cross your feet, bring your left hand down, breathe in, reach your right arm up, side stretch up and over. Think about lifting up and out of your hips. So instead of just dumping over to the side, we're creating lots of length and lift. And then reaching up and over. So kind of like that reverse warrior, right? We're not just dumping, we're trying to lift, create length, a little more stretch through the ribs. Breathe out, come back to center, right hand comes down, left arm reaches straight up, and then over to the side. Stay open through your chest and shoulders here. Try not to round in. Keep opening up across your upper body. Come back to center on your inhale, reach your arms up. And exhale, pull your hands through heart center. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. One more time. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Thank you so much for joining me this morning. I hope that felt great. It was awesome to have you, and I hope you have a great weekend. Namaste. Namaste, Josh. Thanks for joining.